I relate?
Because it's one that will sell.
Right.
All right, are we good?
I'm not a big real estate person, photographer,
I got it.
but I can do absolutely.
Yeah, because I think it's just gonna
Perfect.
Good evening, the time being 7:03 p.m. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Gilbert,
Here.
Councilmember Patassi,
Here.
Councilmember Kettering,
Here.
and Mayor Barrios.
Here. Please note, all four of us are here this evening. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for the invocation provided by Jeff Kavanaugh of Calvary Chapel of Oakdale. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening.
Good evening, council members, Madam Mayor. Let's pray. Lord, it's a privilege to come to you and pray to you, knowing you love this community and this council so much. And Lord, your word tells us you are merciful and gracious, abounding in goodness and truth and forgiving sin and iniquity. And so, Lord, we come to you tonight asking for your wisdom, your grace, and your leading upon this council to make decisions that are best for this community. And we thank you, knowing you want to do this, and we ask and thank you for it. In Jesus' name,
Amen.
amen.
Thank you. All right. All right, so right now, item 5.1, I'm going to go ahead and ask EK Loa Candle Company to come up to the mic. I am going to read a little something, and then we're going to honor you three. So tonight we are honoring EK Loa Candle Company for being in business here in the cowboy capital of the world for 5 years. Like I said, bear with me for a second. I'm going to read something that was written, and I've read it before, but I think because what tonight is, us honoring you, I think it's important for me to read it again. Let's see. All right. So, why Oakdale? We get asked this question almost daily, why Oakdale? The truth is, before we ever thought of starting a business, before we ever poured a single candle, we had already chosen Oakdale. My parents moved to Oakdale in 2002, settling in Bridal Ridge. I moved here in 2009, then back to the Bay Area in 2015. After Tito and I got married, we bought a home in Hayward, but ultimately we knew we wanted to start our life together. In 2016, we came back to Oakdale and never looked back. Let me tell you a little bit about my experience in this town. My parents love Oakdale. They were regulars at many local restaurants, known by name and greeted with kindness everywhere they went. When we'd visit them, we saw firsthand how this community embraced them. When we found the house we wanted, we worked with Oakdale Realty and had the absolute best home buying experience. But beyond that, there are moments, big and small, that will always stand out to me. When my dad was sick, Dr. Ariano, who had been my parents' doctor for years, visited him every morning and every night when he was in the hospital. He did the same for my mom. When my dad needed a ride to Stanford Hospital and couldn't drive himself, our neighbor Billy stepped in without hesitation, taking him, waiting, and bringing him back. When my mom fell outside Susie Bolen's on 3rd Street, before I could even react, 3 workers ran out to help her and into the restaurant. When my dad passed away, I told our neighbor we'd have extra cars on the street. Without being asked, he informed the entire block, and they cleared the street to make room for our visitors. When my mom told Oakdale Riverbank Memorial Chapel that she didn't want a stranger giving my dad's eulogy, Pastor Henry Raven personally called me, listened to my stories, and checked in multiple times to ensure he could honor my dad's memory properly, and he did beautifully. Shortly after my dad passed, we took my mom to Las Margaritas, one of their favorite restaurants. When the server asked about my dad, my mom broke down in tears. That server sat with us and cried with her for over 20 minutes. When my mom needed transportation to medical appointments, St. Matthias provided her with free rides, no questions asked. When we first moved in, my husband and I struggled to get our brand new lawnmower started. Our neighbor Matt saw us, delayed his own plans, and came over to help. When I became a first-time mom, nervous to leave my child in someone else's care, Janice Ramos put all my fears to rest by caring for him as if he were his own. When my mom fell outside our home, our neighbors rushed up to help me lift her. I remember so many moments like these, so many acts of kindness, so many people who never hesitated to lend a hand. So when people ask, why Oakdale? This is why. Because we have never seen a town love its community so hard, so often, and so selflessly. Because before we could even love Oakdale, Oakdale had already loved us. Because before anyone knew who we were, this town had already embraced us. When we decided to start a business, there was no question where it would be, right here in the place that has given us so much. And that is just part of the reason we love Oakdale. And this was written by E.K. Loa Candle Company, Erica and Tito. And this is why we're honoring you here tonight. We want to say thank you very much for choosing Oakdale and for 5 years. Congratulations on that. When you wrote that, I did. I was at home crying like you. I read it 100 times, and I did read it before in a council meeting. It was perfect. It was fitting for the night that I read it, and it's perfect for tonight. Thank you for sharing it with me again. And I just want to say congratulations. Happy 5-year anniversary. And I see your son over there. He didn't want to come up to the mic. That's okay. But I'll let you go ahead and say some words, and we're going to present you with a certificate and honor you.
Yeah, I mean, I think that pretty much encompassed everything of why we love Oakdale, but I just feel like when we first opened our business, we were wondering if a Hawaiian-based company would do well here, but really, although this is the, cowboy capital of the world, Aloha is alive and well in Oakdale, and we have received so much ever since we've opened our doors, and so we just thank you to everybody who has allowed us to be here for so long.
Just want to say thank you for honoring us and recognizing us, and it's just a great town to be in. So we are definitely honored to live here and be around great people and great companies too. So
Thank you. Thank you. And you guys do a lot with sponsoring our events and donations and just really, really bringing the community together, community-wide with your hunts and all that stuff, and just the way that you make candles for our specific organization so that those nonprofits can make money. So your heart's always in the right place. Again, thank you for choosing Oakdale. I know you're 49er Raider, one of you 49er Raiders, so I know there's...
49er.
Yeah. Sorry, I like Erica a little better. No. But anyway, thank you from the bottom...
about everything.
I know. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, and we appreciate it.
Thank you.
And congratulations on your 5-year anniversary.
Thank you.
You guys come right over here. We're going to take a nice picture with you.
I know. Oh, sorry.
You're okay. You're going to be right here. Right here. You guys. Congratulations. All right. Next item, reporting out of closed session. We gave direction to staff. That's it. Now's the time for public comment. Anyone wishing to provide public comment, please come up to the mic. You will have 3 minutes. Please state your name and address. Good evening.
Hi, my name is Cindy Tosti, and we have a ranch out in Valley Home. And I just had some concerns that I just wanted not just to touch on real quick about the new Walmart shopping that's supposedly going to go in, grocery store. Oakdale has 4 grocery stores, and many of our friends, it's been on social media, not going to go into that, but we don't need another grocery store. That Walmart grocery store, there's one in Modesto, and it's just groceries. It's not, we need a place, if they want to bring in Walmart, where they have clothes, or we can get shoes or something really quick. A lot of us are just, they wouldn't show up tonight, but are against it, and we just, that's just how we feel about it. And I just think it would be better, if you're gonna do a Walmart, do the Walmart, not a shopping Walmart, because just groceries, we have 4 stores. We don't need another grocery store. So, thank you for letting me vent. I appreciate it.
And thank you for showing up. All right, anyone else for public comment? All right, public comment is now closed. City Council consent agenda. Would any council member like to pull an item to discuss? If not, this is an action item.
I will not be pulling an item, but based on, where's the number?
9.9? Are you 9.9 Vineyards?
No.
Bridal, 9.8?
9.8, it is a community benefit, but I will be abstaining from the consent vote because I live in Bridal Ridge.
And Jared, you're... Oh, you're not in the Vineyards?
I'm in the Vineyards, but I was told it was, from the map, it was the upper.
So this would be for the LLMDs?
Yeah.
So
You-
the whole area?
You'll recuse yourself just from that one. And I'll recuse mine from item 9.10, virtual.
The last email, that was, you showed us the map, it was all the upper portion. That was for the village.
Yeah, this is different. This is, yeah.
So,
All right, so,
I
in-
guess the question to Tom is since there's
Do I motion?
2 people, should we pull?
On consent. On consent, you just have to note that you're recusing on an individual item, and you don't have to step down, items don't have to be pulled. Like if you had something in the staff report, if you had a conflict, you'd have to leave the room, but it's different for
yeah,
consent.
this
You
is on the
just-
consent
from
agenda,
item
so as long as you already
9.8,
said it. So we need a motion to approve?
I motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second it.
I recuse myself.
We have a first and a second.
Councilmember Gilbert?
Yes.
Councilmember Kettering?
Yes.
Councilmember Patassi?
Yes.
And Mayor Barrios?
Yes, this passes 4-0. And so just so you already made note which ones we recuse ourselves. So you were 9-10, Jared? No, I'm 9-10.
0.8.
You're 9-8, and Jeff is 9-9? Your Vineyards?
No, I'm Vineyard, sorry. I'm
So
9.
Jared's 9-9?
I'm 9.8.
Okay, so
Sorry.
we got that for the record?
Got it.
Okay, thank you. Staff reports, item 11.1. Hi, Chief. How you doing? Good, how are you? Good.
All right, good evening, Mayor. Good evening, Mayor, City Council members. Tonight, I'm going to ask to consider of a resolution to enter into an agreement with the California Office of Traffic Safety, OTS, and accept grant funding in the amount of $38,900. Little background, Oakdale Police Department applied for the grant through the California Office of the Traffic Safety for the Traffic Records Improvement Project. The police department was tentatively awarded $38,900 in OTS grant funds for the program for the period of October 1st, 2025 through September 30th, 2026. This grant, just a little bit of benefits here. This grant supports Oakdale Police Department's strategic initiative to improve traffic safety data management through the acquisition of a complete electronic citation and crash data collection system. It's a mouthful. The project aims to enhance agency efficiency and data accuracy, benefiting public safety, the judicial system, and traffic trend analysis. The system will allow electronic reporting of citations and crash data, integration with department's RMS and local court system, GIS-based crash mapping, secure and accessible databases, direct transmission of reports to the statewide integrated traffic records system. Some benefits. The new system will support the department's goals of reducing traffic injuries and fatalities by enhancing the ability to track and analyze contributing factors in real time, and there is no match requirement for this grant. Fiscal impact, the $38,900 grant will be used exclusively for the purchase and implementation of the electronic citation and crash data reporting system. A dedicated budget account will be established for the accounting and reporting purposes, ensuring a cost-neutral impact on the city's general fund. Our recommendation is to adopt a resolution accepting this grant funding from the State of California Office of Traffic Safety, OTS, for the Traffic Records Improvement Project in the amount of $38,900. Questions?
Any questions from the public for Chief? Any questions for council? All right, this is a grant, nothing to do with anything else. We're gonna get the
Very
money
simple.
and just keep improving.
Yep.
All right, this is an action item?
I'll move to approve.
Don't
Second
we have
that.
to open it up to public comment?
I did.
Oh,
Second
We
that.
have a first and a second. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Kettering,
Yes.
Councilmember Patassi,
Yes.
Councilmember Gilbert,
yes.
and Mayor Barrios.
Yes, this item passes 4-0. Thank you, Chief. Thank you. All right, 11.2. Karina, hello, hello.
Good evening, council members and Mayor Barrios. I'm here tonight to talk about the Kerr Park playground repairs. Tonight, we are here to talk about a consideration of a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement with Miracle Play Systems in the amount of $13,257.91 for the purchase of replacement playground parts for Kerr Park, funded by the Parks Replacement Fund 549. This is Capital Project 2603. Kerr Park is Oakdale's largest park at 14 acres along the Stanislaus River and features picnic areas, a large playground, and 3 baseball fields. The 15-year-old playground was recently evaluated by Miracle Playgrounds, revealing several parts that needed replacement, including a landing step, a double slide, a crawl tube, another landing deck, and a tot swing seat. Along with the newly added bark from Love Oakdale, these repairs will enhance safety and extend the lifespan of the remaining equipment. Here's the current conditions. That's the main sticking point here for our, the kids are getting stuck on this piece of the slide. And it's continuing to crack, and in the heat of this summer, I think it's probably going to get worse. This tot swing, the picture's really hard to get because it's such a shady park, but it's cracked everywhere there. That landing piece is just holding on for its life right there. It's just about to pop off. And the picture on the top is the missing tube. It's just completely missing. There should be a crawl tube between those 2 pieces of equipment that kids can go through, and it's just completely missing because it was unsafe and had broken, so we had to remove it. This purchase includes the replacement of 5 pieces of damaged play equipment. These materials will be purchased through Miracle Play Systems, which is the original manufacturer of the existing structures, and then the parts will be installed by city staff. This is a budgeted purchase from Fund 549 Parks Replacement. Staff recommends that the City Council adopt a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement with Miracle Play Systems in the amount of $13,257.91 for the purchase of replacement playground parts for Kerr Park, funded by the Parks Replacement Fund 549, Capital Project 2603. Any questions?
Any questions from the public? Any questions from council?
I had one, since that tree fell down a few weeks back that kind of destroyed I don't know, I think it was a shade structure that was over the tables and stuff like that, like picnic area.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any way that structure could be thrown into this and get it fixed while they're doing work out there, or?
No,
is
the
this not-
structures are required to go through the state for approval for their engineering.
Gotcha.
And those structures run anywhere from $25,000 to $100,000.
Gotcha.
So, and they're usually 6 to 8 months out when you order them, so it's something that we'll have to put on our list to,
Is there a plan for
Evaluate.
that, since it's kind of,
not quite yet, no. We're having a pretty busy summer, so it is on the list to talk about when we get to the fall and we're doing planning for next year.
got it? Thank you.
Any other questions? I do have a question. Thank you for the presentation.
ma'am.
Is this blocked off right now so that the kids, if they go to slide down, they don't cut their legs? So is it like taped off or, roped off?
Yeah, they're using duct tape on it right now.
Okay.
Yeah, so kids can continue to use the
Okay.
equipment. The slide's been reinforced a little bit underneath as much as they could, and then the steps as well.
So the timeline on this, if we approve it tonight, quick?
Yeah, we'll have everything installed in the next 2 weeks.
Perfect. All right.
I
This is-
motion to approve item 11.2.
Second.
First and a second, roll call, please.
Councilmember Gilbert,
Yes.
Councilmember Kettering,
Yes.
Councilmember Patassi,
Yes.
and Mayor Barrios.
Yes, this item passes 4-0. Thank you, Karina. All right, 11.3.
Me again.
Hi, good evening.
Hi. I'm back. Okay, this item is Albers Road pavement rehabilitation. Tonight, we are considering a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement with United Pavement Maintenance in the amount of $783,503.64 for the Albers Pavement Rehabilitation Project, and authorize a 10% construction contingency in the amount of $78,350, and authorize a construction engineering contingency in the amount of $39,000 for a total project budget of $900,853.64 to be funded by Fund 316, the Surface Transportation Fund. This is Capital Project 2506. Some background: the City of Oakdale conducts regular street assessments to support priority planning. The project area extending from the city limits to Warnerville Road is a heavily traveled corridor with deteriorating pavement conditions. In the 2022 PCI report, the pavement condition index for this segment was 30. Conditions have continued to decline since that time. So here's our project limits. You can see Warnerville Road there. The little red line shows you will be, our rehab will go from Warnerville all the way out to the city limit sign on Albers. Here are the current conditions. I'm sure we're all very familiar with these conditions on both sides of the road. It's been pretty roughed up, and of course, you know, it has just a lot of travel, so it takes a pretty good beating. In the first photo, you can also see where the county stopped their work and where our road begins, so it will be nice to be able to match up to that improved road. This project will include approximately 87,000 square feet of cold plain asphalt concrete pavement removal. This is the process of removing existing asphalt pavement surface using a cold planer or a milling machine. This removes asphalt mechanically without the use of heat and leaves behind a rough texture that helps the new layer bond properly. To further reinforce this area of roadway, a glass grid reinforcement system will be installed. This system consists of a fiberglass mesh used between asphalt layers to reinforce the pavement, reduce cracking, and extend the life of the roadway. Finally, 150,000 square feet of rubberized chip and slurry seal will be applied. Also included in this project will be the traffic loops for the stoplights, striping, and improved signage. Bids were opened on June 5th, 2025, and the bids were as follows. United Pavement Maintenance was our low bidder at $783,503. Consolidated Engineering was at $898,662. George Reed at $921,316, and DSS Company at $937,134. This capital project is 100% funded through the 2025-2026 Surface Transportation Block Grant Program, which includes $925,000 awarded by the Stanislaus Council of Governments, StanCog. These funds were allocated through a formal selection process for road preservation, rehabilitation, or reconstruction. The engineer's estimate was $1,117,896, with United Pavement Maintenance identified as the low bidder at $783,503.64. The breakdown by fund for project costs, including contingency and engineering inspections, is as followed. We'll just be using one fund, so we'll be taking this project from the Transportation Fund at 316. Staff recommends that the City Council adopt a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement with United Pavement Maintenance in the amount of $783,503.64 for the Albers Pavement Rehabilitation Project, and authorize a 10% contingency in the amount of $78,350. Also authorize a construction engineering contingency in the amount of $39,000 for a total project budget of $900,853.64 to be funded by the Surface Transportation Fund 316. I should note that if this project is approved tonight, they will start Monday. Any questions?
Any questions from the public? So this was a grant funded by StanCog, or Stanislaus Council of
Yes.
Government. So they gave us the money. Sarah, we've been working on this already for a while.
Yes.
Correct, this Albers Road project. We could start it Monday.
Yes.
Will they have both lanes closed or one lane to be open?
Yeah, they'll do one, they'll
Okay,
have to do one
okay.
at a
So
time,
that won't
yeah.
be stopped because you have a lot of trucks coming in that way and?
No, not at all.
Okay.
We have a pretty massive traffic control plan that we'll share with everybody.
Okay,
Will
so
it be-
again, Stan
I'm sorry.
Cog gave us the grant funding for this.
Yes, and it's a competitive grant. You do have to compete for it, so you have to write a grant and go through a evaluation process in order to achieve the grant.
Nice, thank you. Yes.
Daytime hours or nighttime work?
It'll be daytime, probably some into the night, but it'll be daytime.
Yeah.
Just
How
a-
long do they think it'll take?
We're at 39 days right now.
Starting Monday? Okay.
She
Great.
goes- you go that way
I go
forward.
that way
Paving is
3
best in the
times a
heat,
day.
so I'm trying to
So
catch
you-
all the heat that I can.
Yeah,
I'm
you
not
gotta
trying to
leave
catch the
early.
heat.
You gotta leave early. So is there gonna be signs that go up starting Monday?
Yeah.
Leave your house 15 minutes early.
Yeah, I already have everything drafted to start posting on social media and go everywhere tomorrow if our project's approved tonight.
I
Yeah.
figured you would, but I
Yeah.
wanna make sure.
Is there any message boards out there yet?
Not yet, but yeah.
After tonight, if
If
we
the road
approve
running,
it.
yeah, after tonight.
I love it.
So was the grant that was submitted, was it specifically for this project on Albers?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
to show,
it's been-
you have to, compete with kind of how important your project is and how damaged your road is
I
and,
guessed that, but I wanted to make sure.
yeah, how much traffic you get, all of that. And our engineer does a great job of helping us put all that information
I
together
can
for
finally
StanCog.
start driving that way again. So
Be
I'm not
nice.
breaking my teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be nice.
All right, this is an action item.
I motion to approve item 11.3 and make sure to leave your house 30 minutes early on Monday morning
And for 39 days.
for, yeah. Thank
Yeah. And when I
goodness
go
it's during
fishing, by
summer.
the way, anyway.
I'll second that.
I mean, they can't start before
Wait,
7 o'clock, right?
No, they'll start right at 7.
Yeah, so.
so leave early. Okay, we have a first
Second
and a
that,
second.
yeah. Oh, sorry.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Gilbert,
Yes.
Councilmember Kettering.
Yes.
Councilmember Patassi,
Yes.
and Mayor Barry.
Yes, this item passes 4-0. Thank you, Karina.
Okay,
All right.
last one.
Okay, you wouldn't want to sit down and come back up. Item 11.4.
It's easier to just stay up here and
I
get
know, I
it done. Okay, last item for me tonight is the Community Park Basketball Court rehab. This is the basketball court that is attached to the skate park or right next to the skate park. Consideration of a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement with Vintage Contractors for the resurfacing and striping of the Community Park Basketball Court in the amount of $24,350 to be funded by the Parks Replacement Fund 549. This is Capital Project 2602. The Community Park Basketball Court was constructed in 2016, has become a well-used and valued recreational facility for our local residents. Since its opening, the court has experienced consistent, nearly daily use, reflecting its popularity and importance within the community. Due to the high volume of activity over the last 9 years, the court is now in need of rehabilitation to maintain safety and functionality. Here are the current conditions of the court. We have a lot of pocking, a lot of cracking. We have some areas where we have some just unevenness kind of happening. A lot of marks like this that are kind of bumping up, so a lot of things that need to be smoothed out and taken care of to avoid trip hazards. This work will include leveling the court to eliminate any low areas or high, where water may collect, grinding and filling cracks, grinding and repairing any high areas, and applying 3 coats of athletic surfacing and painting basketball court lines. Staff attempted to get 3 quotes, but only 1 company responded. Vintage Contractors was our company that responded at $24,350. First Serve Productions Incorporated did not respond to our request for a bid, and Center Court Sports declined to bid because they are booked until 2027.
Wow.
Yes, so if you need your court resurfaced,
Yeah.
they're busy.
Hey, wow.
Staff recommends that City Council adopt a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement with Vintage Contractors, Inc. for the resurfacing and striping of the Community Park Basketball Court in the amount of $24,350 to be funded by the Parks Replacement Fund 549, Capital Project 2602. This will close the court for 7 to 10 days. Questions?
Any questions from the public? Any questions from council?
When will the court be closed?
Right now, this work would be scheduled for around August 4th.
Oh, okay, so school will
Right, when-
already be back in.
Yeah, we asked if we could get on their schedule after school goes back, so at least we wouldn't be
Perfect.
disturbing school break.
Because there's like 40
players.
kids down there every day.
Yeah.
And I think they would be really
Yeah.
sad, so thank you.
Yeah,
So the skate park has been open since 2016, which means that's 9 years it's been here?
yes.
My 10-year high
9
school
years. I remember the
graduation.
ribbon cutting and all that, wow. 9 years. So the great part about it is it's being used a lot. We gotta spend
A lot.
25 grand to make sure it's safe for the kids. So
Yes.
with that, I'll entertain a motion.
I motion to approve item 11-4.
Second.
First and a second, roll call, please.
Councilmember Gilbert?
Yes.
Councilmember Patassi?
Yes.
Councilmember Kettering?
Yes.
And Mayor Barrios?
Yes, this item passes 4-0. Thank you, Colleen. Thank you, Karina. All right, 11.5. Good evening. How are you?
Good evening, Mayor and council members. Just by way of introduction, my name is Jenny Thompson. I am the newest management analyst for public services. I've been here for 10 months now, but this will be my first official presentation, so
Well, welcome.
thank you for having me. Tonight's item is in regards to the Symbium Online Automatic Solar Permit Compliance Review Agreement. It's a mouthful. So consideration of a resolution from the City of Oakdale City Council authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement with Symbium Corporation for online automatic solar permit compliance review in the amount of $17,000 to be funded by the Cal App Program grant funds. So just a little bit of background. In 2022, California Senate Bill 379 was adopted, which required that cities with 50,000 residents or fewer must adopt software that allows for automatic code compliance review for solar permit applications. On October 2nd, 2023, the City Council adopted Resolution 2023-102 to accept the California Automated Permit Processing, or Cal App, program grant funds in the amount of $40,000 to facilitate installation and operational use of the required software. At the October 16th, 2023 City Council meeting, the City Council adopted Resolution 2023-107 to execute an agreement with Tyler Technologies for an online permitting system. While the new online permitting system being put into place by Tyler Technologies is going to allow for easy online permitting for many types of permits, it does not include automatic code compliance review, which is a requirement of Senate Bill 379. So staff reached out to Symbium for a quote on automatic solar permit compliance review software. They were recommended to staff by the City of Escalon, which is where I came from, who already has put the software into place. They're also highly recommended by CSG, which is the company who provides our building inspection and plan review services. So Symbium software provides automated compliance via CompLaw, instant plan checks and permits, integration with our new Tyler online permitting system, and the ability for future expansion of automatic plan check review for other project types if desired. So how it works is contractors will have the option to go to Symbium through a portal on our City of Oakdale website and will enter details of the solar system they are installing. Symbium will perform an automatic compliance review based on the entries and will either approve the plan or point out errors or discrepancies. Once the system passes review, contractors will pay a $25 fee to Symbium, and Symbium will send over the approved plan data to the City of Oakdale, either via email or directly to Tyler Technologies once we have our permit system go live. So the permit can be issued and paid for. It is not a mandatory system for contractors to utilize Symbium. The city just has to offer it per the state. Contractors can still bring in their solar plans and have them manually plan checked and issued by staff in the office. This is just a screenshot of kind of what it looks like. It's very simple. Contractors literally just go from step to step to step, entering the details of their solar program or their solar permit. There's no fiscal impact to the City of Oakdale. Symbium charges a one-time configuration and integration fee only up to the amount of available Cal App program grant funds. The City of Oakdale currently has a little less than $19,000 in grant funds available after partial utilization of funds for the Tyler Technology online permitting system. So we'll be allocating $17,000 in the grant funding towards the Symbium program, leaving the city with a buffer in case other incidental costs come up with the implementation of this or the Tyler Technologies online permitting system. There is also no fee charged to the City of Oakdale for software use. Contractors who choose to use the software for automated compliance review will pay a $25 per plan check service fee directly to Symbium. Staff recommends that the City Council adopt a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement with Symbium Corporation for online automatic solar permit compliance review in the amount of $17,000 to be funded by the Cal App program grant funds. Any questions?
Any questions from the public? Any questions from council?
For that $25 online, do they have to pay $25 in person when they do the?
No, so when they go to submit, they'll pay the $25 through Symbium when they're submitting all of the,
But if they
information.
just come in person, they don't have to pay that
No.
to the city?
no, it's something that just we legally have to offer this option for automatic plan review. Our staff is actually really, really fast. I don't know if you've met Carol before, but she pretty much does over-the-counter solar permit review. So we just have to officially offer this online option.
Gotcha.
So the
It's-
state
it's,
says we have, sorry.
Yeah, I think we're saying the same thing.
Huh,
It's
Gene.
it's mandated by the state that we have an
Yeah.
online, automatic review process.
Can you
Doesn't
have
have to
the-
be used.
Can you tell the state not to require us to do this?
I would love to.
Can you please do that? Plus, you've done a great job with your
Oh,
presentation. So state says we have to do it. It's not gonna hurt our solar people at all. It's not gonna hurt our community at all. We have the grant funds, 17,000 allocated, a buffer of 2,000. And with that, I'll entertain a motion.
I motion to approve item 11.5.
I have one more question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
sorry.
You're all right.
Sorry, Jared.
Maybe I don't know if you're the right person to ask this question, but with all the houses and development that's gonna be coming in, it's required by state law for everybody to have solar on those buildings.
Yeah.
For their permit request, or whatever you wanna call it, do they, for the whole entity of the subdivision or business, does it all get submitted by one permit, so it covers all the houses, or is it all individually?
It's generally individually, at least from what I've seen, the subdivisions that we have going on right now. It's individually because the homeowner gets the option of maybe they want to upsize. So the contractor generally has like ready-made plans that they can tweak and then they turn them in. Yeah,
Thank you.
Mhm.
Good presentation.
thank you.
I motion to approve item 11.5. And Jenny, you did a great job for
Thank
your
you.
first meeting with us.
Great job.
I'll second that. I agree. My first presentation in front of a board of supervisors was not as clean as yours was tonight.
Thank you.
So good job. All right, we have a first and a second. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Gilbert?
Yes.
Councilmember Kettering?
Yes.
Councilmember Patassi?
Yes.
And Mayor Burry?
Yes, this item passes 4-0. Thank you. All right, 11.6.
All right, good evening, Mayor, members of the City Council. 11.6 is considered by minute order ratifying a response to the findings and recommendations from the 2024-2025 Stanislaus County Civil Grand Jury Report 2519 GJ. Oakdale Police Department mandated training implementation report. That was their title that they selected for their report. So a little background on the report. We received it on on June 25th, 2025. It's regarding a training compliance review based on an investigation that occurred during the 2022-2023 civil grand jury. And if you recall, some of you were here when I did the presentation. I think it was August 21st of 2023 when I presented our response for the civil grand jury on that one. The city has to respond within 90 days. The city council has to respond within 90 days. The police department can respond within 60 days if they want to have a response. But it was a fairly in-depth report that we completely agree with, so we figured we'd get it done. So we could concentrate on another civil grand jury response that will be coming back to the city council, not regarding Oakdale. So the focus was compliance with post-mandated training standards. The city of Oakdale's response, we agree with all the findings, and I'll just read them so that everybody knows. These were the findings right out of the civil grand jury. Oakdale Police Department officers are current and statewide standards for training required by the California State Commission of Peace Officer Standards and Training, or have legitimate waivers related to the recent dates of hire and training received in the academy within the training cycle. That was one of the findings. Next finding, the Oakdale Police Department is found to be in compliance with deadlines recommended in the 2022-2023 Stanislaus County Civil Grand Jury Report related to mandatory peace officer training. We agree with that. The Oakdale Police Department Training Coordinator is in compliance with recommendations included in the 2022-2023 Stanislaus County Civil Grand Jury Report related to attendance at the Training Management Workshop in 2023 and 2024. And the Oakdale Police Department's Master Training Plan is in order and up to date. Some of the findings on the master training plan were we were lacking mandatory domestic violence in the training plan, but we still have to comply with post, whether it's in our training plan or not. So summary of the grand jury findings. We're fully compliant with the 2022-2023 recommendations. We worked diligently to get there. Prior to the investigation, I should note that we were working on it prior to the investigation. All officers are in compliance with the 2023-2024 post-training cycle. This was determined by the Stanislaus County Civil Grand Jury, not Oakdale Police Department. The training coordinator met workshop attendance expectations. We provided all the data showing that. And the master training plan is current and complete. So we have a strategic training approach. It started in 2022. It actually started in 2021 when I was assigned to the chief of police in October. Well, I think we doubled our training in 2022 because we saw that we had some deficiencies there, got people in compliance. So what we started to do is we started front-loading training. So the majority of the way the training cycle works is it's on a 2-year cycle, and right now we're on a 2025-2026 cycle. We're 1/4 of the way through the cycle because 1/4 of the way would be June 30th. So what we try to do is we try to get the majority of post-mandated training completed in year 1. That way we can concentrate on ensuring that everybody is current with their post-mandated training. In other words, if somebody misses their training in year 1 due to an illness, something comes up where we need them on patrol and they can't attend the training, we're not waiting till the last minute. We have another opportunity to send them later in 2026. So far in 2023, and at the end of 2024, I ran the compliance report on December 2nd, 2024, and that's indicated in the report that I wrote and submitted in the agenda packet. All officers were compliant. That includes anywhere from the chief down to officers. All sworn officers were compliant. And so far in the 2025-2026 cycle, 8 officers and sergeants have completed their post-mandated training. All officers and sergeants are scheduled to complete post-mandated training in 2025. That will leave us an entire year to maybe do some specialized training, readjust our budget. We have a lot of options when we get the training completed in the first year. Transparency and accountability. We were prompt in our response to the Stanislaus County Civil Grand Jury. We submitted training logs, agency records, agency rosters, and the compliance report. We wanted to show that we were completely cooperative, completely transparent, and prompt in our response. When they made their original request, they asked for officer data, and we interpreted that as officer data. So what I did when I prepared the first response is I actually supplied them with officer data and sergeant data just out of an abundance of caution. They saw a discrepancy in the report in that they were missing 3 folks that were on our agency roster but did not have our training data. It's because I didn't know that they wanted it from the management also. So they requested the 3 additional people, the 3 additional training logs, which included the 2 lieutenants and the chief of police. I provided that the very next day, and they obviously accepted it. And every document and every correspondence that I had with the civil grand jury during this investigation is included in the report. So we got commendations from the Stanislaus County Civil Grand Jury for the progress that we've made and for the transparency that we showed and the cooperation that we showed during this investigation. So they acknowledged our professionalism, transparency, promptness, and compliance. They wrote in the report, leadership at the Oakdale Police Department was fully cooperative and transparent in their participation in this implementation review process, having responded promptly and thoroughly to all inquiries. In other words, I wanted to give them every piece of data that they could use to show them, I wanted to highlight the preparedness and the compliance that Oakdale Police Department has. Future commitments, We're going to maintain our post-compliance, obviously, update our training plans regularly, and then we'll convene the training committee as needed. And with that, I'll take any questions.
Any questions from the public? Any questions from council?
I just want to thank City Manager for responding to my questions earlier about this. I can tell you that everyone thinks that training peace officers is an easy task. It's probably one of the more difficult tasks that a police agency has to deal with, especially with the number of officers and the requirements of post. As a former post instructor and running a law enforcement agency, I can tell you this is difficult to do. And reading the entire packet of information that was submitted, I had some flashbacks of training logs for a while, but you guys have done an amazing job in the responses, much more detailed than I would have expected, and that's just a commendation to all of you and the agency.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else? So bottom line, somebody turned this in to the civil grand jury. Civil grand jury comes to you and says, hey, we need this documentation. You complete it, they go through the investigation, and this is the response. This is the findings, correct?
This is the findings. We're in compliance
Right. So this is it. No more. You're just sharing this with the public.
until next year.
Oh, okay. Until next year. All right. Is that from being on the post compliance? Is that what that's all about, or is it just an annual thing?
No, it's not an annual thing.
Oh, you're being funny.
I anticipate somebody will turn us in for something.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for sharing that this evening with us and letting the public know those findings. And you said everything's in this report, so if anybody wanted to look it up, for those watching at home, they can go on the city website and read through it themselves.
It's in the agenda packet.
Yeah.
The full 180 pages.
Yep. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Any council member have an item?
Motion to,
Yeah, we just need to make a motion.
Oh,
I motion to approve item 11.6.
And just so we're approving the council responding to what has been already written, correct?
Yes, to the council and the city manager responding to the civil grand jury.
I'll second that.
we have a first and a second roll call, please.
Councilmember Gilbert?
Yes.
Councilmember Kettering?
Yes.
Councilmember Patassi?
Yes.
And Mayor Barrios?
Yes, this passes 4-0. Anything else, city manager?
Nothing more to report.
All right, any questions, comments from the council?
Share, when does concerts in the park start?
Concert in the park, I'm looking up something right now. Concert in the park starts Friday, July 11th, which is this Friday, 6:30 to 8:30 or so at Dorada Park. And it's every Friday night between now and August 29th. We will have openers this year for most dates. We're gonna have some food trucks, some family fun. There's gonna be bouncy house. It's gonna be awesome. So join us every Friday night. That's a co-sponsor with the city and the chamber. It's free to our community. It's been going on for many, many moons, so please join us. Anything else? So with that, I am gonna read something. On 4th of July, I was at my mother-in-law's getting ready to do fireworks. I had a text saying, hey, can you talk right now? I sent, hey, starting to do fireworks. I put my phone away, and then I got another text message to say that there was a young man that got in his first accident. Immediately, I called my friend. She wanted to talk about OPD, so I called my friend because I didn't know what the issue was, and she gave me some particulars about the other friend that she was with, and then I called the mom the next day because this was already about 10 o'clock at night. So the mom sends me this. Hi, Mayor. I wanted to take a moment to share something that happened this past Wednesday night. My 16-year-old son, Matthew, was involved in a car accident. Naturally, I rushed to the scene, and when I arrived, I saw one of the officers speaking with him. The officer gently asked if Matthew was hurt. He could clearly see how shaken he was. When Matthew said he wasn't injured, the officer reassured him, saying, that's all that matters. Cars can be replaced, people can't. That simple, compassionate response meant so much. The other officer on the scene was equally kind and supportive. As a worried mom, I was incredibly grateful for the way both officers handled the situation with empathy, patience, and professionalism. This experience left a long-lasting impression on both Matthew and me. I truly believe it's something he'll carry with him. Please extend my heartfelt thanks to OPD for their outstanding care and compassion that night. Shanna Springer. So anyway, I don't have the police report number, but that's the date, the time. It was right in front of Round Table. You can look that up. But kudos to you and your team, because this person sees a lot of the negative stuff on social media, and she wanted to make sure that she got to the right department to tell you how awesome they were, her son's first accident, and that will have a lifelong impression on him. So I wanted to leave that, this council meeting with that. And we will see everybody on Monday, July 21st, 6:30 p.m. Please note the new time, 6:30 p.m. And we'll see you then. Have a great couple weeks. Meeting adjourned.